Hey everybody, Anthony Cosenza here, realtor with CasaBellRealtyGroup.com. That's the website, of course, and Casabell Realty Group is the brokerage. But happy to have you with us at the beginning of this week here as we start to kick off April. We're going to bring you a couple videos this week. We're going to split up what we usually do between kind of inventory data, market update, that sort of thing, and some mortgage headlines, as well as rates, all that kind of stuff, and some general real estate headlines that are popping up around various different avenues here with real estate as it pertains to the market and whatnot. So we're going to be here just quickly going over a couple things. As I mentioned, our real estate brokerage, Casabell Realty Group, local Southern California brokerage, specializing in the Southern California area, a lot of different counties: Orange County, San Diego County, Riverside County, LA County. We've done a number of transactions in all of those areas. We want to be your go-to real estate brokerage for information, resources. If you need industry professionals, whether it's on the mortgage side, home improvement side, contractor side, what have you, we want to be your resource. We have a lot of trusted folks that we can point you to in order for you to get the services you need. And of course, if you're looking to buy, sell, lease, what have you, give us a call, shoot us an email, what have you, and we will be happy to help you out. Go to CasabellRealtyGroup.com for more information. I have a couple of pieces of data and not data, I guess, but more pieces of information and headlines from sources like Realtor.com, Realtor Magazine, and then we'll talk a little bit about some rates and show you a new lease listing that we've got coming up. And then we'll be back later in the week with some inventory and other pieces of news, as we usually do, just kind of splitting up the videos this week and want to do that for you. Let's talk about who is buying all the houses. And this is on Realtor.com, as I mentioned. I'll full screen this one here. Who is buying all the houses is the title of this article from Realtor.com. And this one, really, there's someone I know and trust who actually has done a lot of in the higher education realm and teaching, and has written books and whatnot on generational profiles, talking about Gen X and millennials and baby boomers and whatnot, talking about their profiles and all that kind of stuff. And here you can see it's saying who's buying up all these houses in such a challenging market. First-time home buyers were able to beat back competition from swarms of millennials, cash-rich investors, and baby boomers looking to downsize and purchase about a third of all the homes for sale, according to the National Association of Realtors annual home buyers and sellers generational trends report. They represented about 34% of buyers, up 31% from last year. Given everything with the COVID-19 pandemic and the shortage in inventory, it's encouraging to see younger buyers entering home ownership, said Brandy Snowden. And she is the director and member of consumer survey research at NAR. Millennials made up, here you go right here, millennials, that demographic made up 43% of home buyers in the past year, compared with 37% in the previous one. Older millennials, aged 32 to 41, were more likely to be selling their first homes rather than entering the market for the first time. So again, kind of finding that forever home, quote unquote, or that next home are where a lot of the millennials, kind of the older end of the spectrum of millennials, 32 to 41, they are, looking to potentially get a larger home. Their families are growing, et cetera, that sort of thing. But 43% of home buyers in the past year were millennials. So it is a young demographic that is buying up a lot of the inventory that is out there. Now, what does this tell you? It tells you that these millennials have been saving. Millennials are aggressive in this market. And it does tell you a couple of other different things, that if you're on the buying side and you've been on the fence, that, if you're wondering, hey, I'm younger, I don't know if I have that much established credit or, what I've saved up. While, yes, these folks have saved up money, there are also some loan programs that are friendly to first-time home buyers, and that's allowed a lot of these folks to get into the market and buy some of these homes. So that's something to continue to monitor, especially as we see incremental rate increases and expect more to come this year. We will see what happens there, but some interesting data courtesy of NAR and Realtor.com that we wanted to share with you. I thought this is kind of coinciding with that. This is on our blog and courtesy of Realtor Magazine. I'm going to share you just kind of some fun one. This is a little bit more of a fun one here. This is on CostabelleRealtyGroup.com and our media section, or our blog section. This went up yesterday. A look at the first-time homebuyers' preferred and maybe not so preferred home features. This I thought was kind of creative. It shows a blend of wanting some traditional facets of the home buying situation, or a home with traditional features, and homes with kind of not so traditional features. And here's what I mean here. They're not into classic dining rooms, but oddly enough, traditional laundry rooms, having a big laundry room, top the polled wish list of what they want. 83% of first-time homebuyers polled said they wanted a laundry room of some kind, a large laundry room. A true patio and walk-in pantry also top the list of preferences at 78 and 80% respectively. Hardwood flooring and filtration systems also on top there, 80%, 78%. So all of these things where you have classic stuff like a walk-in pantry, a true patio and laundry room, but you also have, some of these newer kind of contemporary things like the newer type of flooring, water filtration systems, things that are in a lot of times newer houses. These are the things that they also want, first-time home buyers, that is. Other facets that they are looking to avoid. Elevators. I mean, that's kind of predictable. I don't know many people who, despite certain situations, elevators in many instances are luxuries, but obviously if there's, someone who needs that to get around through a home, that's something that needs to happen. But elevators often are not something that someone wants out of a home. A first-time home buyer wants out of a home. 47% polled. Glass walls, again, something that's a little bit passe. 41% said no thanks. Wine cellar, one that's kind of sometimes a hip, kind of newer type of addition to a home, or just kind of a nice classic, classy type of addition to a home. That is not a preferred feature among first-time home buyers. 34% said no thanks. And surprisingly, not being close to a golf course, whether you wanted to use that for a social membership at a country club or something like that. You wanted to use it for dining, entertainment, play on the golf course, that sort of thing. Obviously, aesthetically very nice. You usually get a nice view on a golf course. 42% of first-time homebuyers polled said no thanks to a golf course. But so kind of interesting when you talk about what they want, what they don't want. There's some classic things that they do like, some not so classic things or contemporary things that they are looking to add in terms of what they want out of their first-time home buying purchase, or what they looked for in terms of features in houses. Now, this is unfortunately nothing in Southern California here for those a little bit located around our brokerage, but some good news. We, as realtors who are involved in the California Association of Realtors, as well as the National Association of Realtors, we have a lot of contacts across the country, throughout the state, where if you are looking to relocate, we can link you up to a quality real estate agent out of area if that is something that you want to do. And this is just kind of a fun one coming out. This is a Realtor.com article that came out yesterday, April 4th. This is where inventory, it seems to be going up, and you can see nothing in California, but you see Idaho. You see a number of different areas here, and I'll point them out here. Here are the states. You see Panama City, Florida, Alabama, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's becoming a real hot spot. Jacksonville, North Carolina right there. The Carolinas on the coast becoming hot spots. Iowa City, Iowa, Macon, Georgia, East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Greeley, Colorado. Boise's a big one that is booming right now, and Atlantic City in New Jersey. So those are the areas where inventory is starting to rise at a higher pace than a lot of different areas here. So if you are looking to relocate, keep those areas in mind in terms of inventory and whatnot. And of course, if you need an agent in one of those areas, let us know. We would be happy to point you to a professional in one of those respective areas. Another one from realtor.com. Then we're going to talk about some mortgage rates, etc., courtesy of Chris Pacheco of Pacheco Team Loans. We'll get to his wonderful information that he continuously supplies to us in just a minute. But this is from realtor.com. 8 things on the seller side, 8 things sellers, first-time home sellers, get wrong in this market. And this is from a few weeks ago. Talk about overpricing, skimping on home showings. You can kind of feel, some folks feel that, I don't need to show my house all that much in this market. It'll just sell itself because things are moving so fast. And that's not always the case. So you got to be aware of that. You see here staging slip-ups. If you have the thing staged, but it's not staged well, or you have maybe one room done, or maybe you've explored virtual staging and you didn't go through with that. So you got to really make sure if you are going to stage it, it gets staged correctly. There's all kinds of different stuff. Seeing only dollar signs. There are different ways in which a seller can capitalize on their equity in this market. It's not just purchase price. You have to look at your net gain. Purchase price is definitely a big part of that, but there are other elements to your net gain in terms of selling your house that you want to look at. And of course, sometimes an all cash offer and a loan situation with buyers can mean different things, both positively and negatively. And you got to consult a real estate professional to help you weed through all of that and make sure you make the most educated decision possible when selling your home, particularly if it is your first time selling your home and you're looking to parlay that equity into a bigger home. You got to make sure you leverage everything correctly and you work with a true professional that can educate you through the whole thing and walk you through offers that are netted and the showing process, etc. From A to Z. We at Casa Bell Realty Group pride ourselves on that. So these are just a couple of tips that Realtor.com relayed, and obviously ones that we try to utilize with our clients as well. So some good stuff for first-time sellers. Check that out on Realtor.com. We also have stuff up on our Casa Bell Realty Group blog that you can check out, some of which is this. Now, keeping it going here, we are going to have a mortgage update. It says Monday. It's technically Tuesday. I know. But Chris Pacheco of Pacheco Team Loans, they always graciously give us this at the beginning of the week, an update here. This is his Monday mortgage news and rates. You can see here the last week's activity. Job creations were strong in March, 431,000 jobs created across the country. 3.6% is the unemployment rate. 3.5% was pre-pandemic low. Inflation rose again, 0.6% last month. Year over year, 6.4%, the highest level in 40 years in terms of inflation. Tight supply continues to be supportive of home price appreciation, and home appreciation is 19.2% up year over year. Ooh. And then that also coincides with rents. We've talked about this. Some folks are saying, I'm holding off. I'm going to rent. Rents are climbing in a very similar fashion. Rents continue to rise per the rent report, 17.1% year over year, slightly down from 17.6%, but still it continues to rise on the rent front too. So that's something to think about. And the GDP fourth quarter last year grew 6.9%. Here's what's coming up this week. Stocks and mortgage bonds are slightly higher to start the week. There are talks of a potential recession happening in Europe. Oh boy. 10-year and 2-year bond yields inverted and pretty quiet otherwise than that. So obviously we're going to need to keep an eye on what's happening in Europe. A lot of different stuff happening in Europe. Obviously Ukraine, Russia, the war over there and everything. It's having a trickle down effect in a lot of different ways. So got to keep your eyes on that from an economic standpoint as well. But here are the rates, and you see these starting to tick up. They are ticking up slowly but surely. Conventional 30-year loan rate, 4.875%. National average FHA 30-year, 4.25%. Still pretty manageable there. Jumbo 30-year, 5.375. That has jumped up a bit there. A VA 30-year loan, 4.375, and a couple of others close to some alternative loan programs, close to 6% in terms of interest rates there. Again, everything has crept up. And if you've been keeping up with these videos over the past couple of years, you would have seen those numbers in the high 2s, low 3s, pretty frequently, and now they have crept up quite a bit as of late. So all of this courtesy of Chris Pacheco of the Pacheco team, and using a number of different resources to gather this information and compile it for us. So you can check that out. And how do you get in touch with Mr. Pacheco if you need loan advice, if you want to know what you are qualifying for and what you need to know? You can go to pachecoteamloans.com. This is their contact page. Their offices, San Clemente and Upland, but they go everywhere, and I can attest to that. We have worked directly with Chris. We've had a client work with him. He is a 5-star service kind of guy on the loan representative front. You can reach him, though, 909-534-0238. That is the phone number there. So get in touch with him, with them at pachecoteamloans.com. You can check them out. They do great work and will answer all of your questions. And I am sure that you getting into a home loan, should you be purchasing or refinance, what have you. And Chris has handled both of those things for clients of ours. So, give him a call and ask some questions. Make sure again, this is all about being educated in this market. And when you make one of the biggest decisions of your life and biggest financial decision in terms of buying a house, et cetera, that you got to make sure that you are well educated, and you're going to want to do that and get well educated through Chris Pacheco, pachecoteamloans.com. Thanks to them for their information. Last week, we talked to you about a great property in the desert that we had listed, and now we have a new lease listing, a luxury lease listing in the Crest de Ville neighborhood of Laguna Niguel. A great opportunity for someone looking for a big house with an ocean view, well kept, and an amazing neighborhood. Lease listing. This says sneak peek, but it's now active as of the beginning of this week, so check it out. This is on Bethany Street in Laguna Niguel in the Crest de Ville neighborhood. Here's a little tour for you, and we'll leave with that, and we'll be back this week with more information on data, inventory, etc. I'm Anthony Cosenza with Casabello Realty Group. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, go to CasabelloRealtyGroup.com with any questions. Contact us. We want to be your real estate resource. Take care.